Yeah, Three Eye Atlas.
Mm.
Um, the biggest thing that I've been looking at right now is the bouncing of the Schumann resonance and the radioactivity that's been coming off of our sun, and then hitting our Earth, right, and then
Right.
bouncing off of Mars.
Mm.
Um, I believe it has a huge ability to mess with our heads and other animals' heads.
Even like nature in general, like life on the whole planet, is what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm. Mm.
Um, we've been seeing strange patterns with bees, and we've been seeing strange patterns with birds. And the plants that I
Mm.
planted this year have not been producing as much fruit as they normally would. And same with my vegetables. They they've almost seemed to be non-existent
Right.
to the ecosystem around them.
And you think it might be caused by the approach of Three Eye Atlas?
It could be, yeah.
Mm.
Um,
So is
it
mm. No, go on, go on. That's right.
it could also be because of climate changes, but I don't think our climate is changing that fast.
Right.
Um, do we had two planetary alignments within the last 3 months that happened in rapid succession, and then
Mm.
Three Eye Atlas entered our solar system
Yep.
rather,
Yep. Yep.
and then recently aligned itself with Mars, and then hit another solar alignment
Mm.
recently. I believe that there are other factors to play besides you know what's going on here on Earth. There's astronomical things that are going on that
Mm.
people need to pay attention to. Birds, especially, will pay attention to, and if you don't pay attention to them as a human being, I think you're kind of stupid
Well,
because
it's
we all
yeah.
work in we all work in unison with with this uh with this thing we call Earth.
It's funny how you mentioned wildlife as well because back a few years ago with one of the more recent extraterrestrial visitors to our solar system, which was a Muamua. Um, and then closely associated with that was some strange events. Like there was a solar
Right.
observatory that got shut down
And
as well by the
you
FBI. Did you remember
you're
hearing
you're
about that?
gonna you're finding the same things with Three Eye Atlas. I mean, the refusal from multiple agencies to turn their probes and actually look at it,
Mm.
or to even go ahead and examine it when they were in range and had fuel to go ahead and intercept the object and stay within orbit of the object. They
Mm.
refused to do so. You're going to see the same things. I don't think people in our higher echelons of society and our scientific community, I don't think they want answers to what these interstellar objects are. I, why would you want to? Why would you want to answer it?
Well, I suspect these are extraterrestrial visitors myself, only based on Oumuamua and my experiences from that. It's like Oumuamua, I think, was 2017, and then
There's no
2018.
there's no definitive there's no
Mm,
definitive evidence that it is a
yeah, but I
like
mean,
a an artificial object. There,
mm,
unfortunately, right now there is none.
yeah, there's
We have
definitely
seen
there's nothing
we've
definitive.
seen
That's right.
we've seen outgases recently that that have been of metals, which
Nickel, I believe.
yeah, nickel, but of a specific
But
type,
without
which is
iron, and it
radioactive.
should be with iron if it was more of a meteorite
Yeah,
or comet.
yeah. If it was an isotope, yeah. If it was an isotope that was actually properly conglomerated,
Hmm.
it would it wouldn't just be a radioactive isotope. It would
Hmm.
actually be it would actually be connected to other atoms, and it would create a more complex compound in order to stabilize itself and neutralize itself. But
Hmm.
that's not what we see. Um, right now, I don't know to be sure. What I do know is that when we'll have the maximum capability to observe the object, it'll be on the other side of the sun from Earth,
Hmm.
meaning we will not be able to observe it.
So therefore, the
So,
satellites on around Mars will have to have a look and then transmit the
but
information to us after.
as of current, the most capable satellites that could actually reach it, which there was a satellite that passed right by it and it could have adjusted its course.
But it didn't.
However, it did not.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
nobody has the plan to actually
Is that
observe this
because
object.
the powers that be are not that interested really in sort of providing some extra information that maybe
If I was somebody
we
who
really need
did
to
not
know?
know anything, if I was somebody who did not know anything about the outer universe
Mm.
and did not know anything about the interstellar community that we live in, I would be demanding that this object be observed immediately and as thoroughly as possible
Oh, of course.
as a scientist.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I was in the military, and I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, and I have an associate's degree in biochemistry. This is not something that I would do unless I already know what's going with the object. Is not try to intercept it.
Right.
If I already know what's going on with it, then I would not have any. I wouldn't care, which
Mm.
is what I'm currently observing. You're going to point your cameras in the sky, but you're not going to move toward it when you had multiple objects that are in the sky, multiple satellites that could even orbit it, that you did not move to counter this object. Um, we had, like I said, a satellite that was going to the Oort cloud
Mm.
to observe extraterrestrial phenomenon, and to observe far, far asteroids and comets. And this thing was not supposed to reach its destination until 2029, but it had a almost perfect collision course with 3i Atlas, and we
Mm.
did not decide to slow it down. We did not decide to go ahead and intercept it. We did not decide to go ahead and take captures of images of it. We did not decide to ride with it. When instead, if we rode with it, and we actually rode on its gravitational wave, it would have taken us way past the Oort cloud, and we would have saved fuel and energy. Um, See, the things that NASA that they're portraying to us, it doesn't make any sense from a physical description for delta V. If anybody understands what delta V is, you understand that you want to conserve as much as you can in space. That's your conversion from mass to velocity. So how much can you push through space with your current amount of fuel, and how much velocity your engines can push? So you'd rather ride 3i Atlas throughout the universe, and as much as you can collect studies on it, and then maybe hit the Oort cloud and then blast away from it. But that's not what we saw. we saw complete obfuscation of the object. Now it's reaching Mars, and it's gonna hit its apoapsis, or it's I believe there's another word for it when you're going outside of our solar system. It wouldn't even be an apoapsis because it's not completing an orbit. But there's really no way to define an object like this unless you actually observe it, which is something we are refusing to do, and we have the capability to do. I guess that's the
Well,
best that I can define my argument down to.
it has entered the plane of the solar system at the same angle of which the planets are rotating around the sun,
Equatorial. Yeah, it hit an almost equatorial orbit,
which is very
which is
unusual.
yeah, for an interstellar object, it's very unusual, and it didn't enter at an equatorial orbit. By the way, it's being readjusted due to the gravitational effects of due to the planets and the sun. So it won't be entering the solar system as we've observed it, but now it has entered a equatorial orbit. But when it began to enter our solar system, it was at an equatorial orbit.
What'll be interesting would be like when we expect it to come around the other side of the sun, because when it's closest to the sun, when we won't be able to see it because Earth will be on the other side, but then when we expect this object through our atlas to be starting to appear on the other side, what if we don't see it then? What if it has changed course or stopped or slowed down? That'll be interesting, won't it?
If you don't see it appear at the other side of the sun, it means it crashed into the sun.
Well, no, I mean, what if it has slowed down or stopped?
Okay,
You
due
know?
to the way that space.
No,
due
no,
to the
no.
way that
Due
space.
to maybe if it is an extraterrestrial object, I mean, and it
I'm
just
understanding what you
goes
mean.
to the other side
I
of the
understand.
sun to where
Okay, but
of the
if
Earth
it's
to where we
if
can't
it's at
see it,
if
and then
okay,
stops.
I understand. I understand completely. But
Mm-hmm.
if it stops on the other side of the sun, and you literally can't see it.
Mm. Well, it's just like we may not know that unless we can see it from Mars. And,
Okay, so one. Let me tell you how this works. One, it achieved a tidal lock with the sun. Two, it crashed into the sun.
go on.
That's it.
No,
That's your only two options.
I just mean like say it's staying on its original trajectory that we know it to be on.
Right, and it slows down,
But
right? And then we can't see it.
no, no, no.
Yeah,
So if the object's travelling at a certain speed, on a certain path, and then it comes when it's closest to the sun, it's going. This is another funny thing about this object. It's like when it's going to be closest to the sun, the Earth is going to be on the other side of the sun, which means that we won't be
right.
able to see it, which is
Right.
suspicious
Oh,
in itself. It's like,
what are you? What are you
with the
asking?
object, like as
What
if
are
it
you
was
asking?
planned, as if the object planned to be on the other side of the sun where we won't be able to see
Yeah.
it, when it's
Right, but what are you asking?
closest. No, no,
What are
well,
you asking?
yeah. Well, I'm saying, like, what if that trajectory was planned, where
There's nobody knows.
when it's closest to the sun, Earth is on the other side of the sun, so we can't see it. But then, if it stays on
somehow,
its path and trajectory and velocity, then we would expect to be able to see it at a certain point in time, right? Once it goes past that trajectory of the sun, and then we'll start to see it.
I would
It's like,
assume so.
oh, okay,
But
it's
also, if the object decides
mm,
that
like say,
perhaps it wants to
mm,
interlock with our sun,
yeah,
it would
that,
have to.
well,
If it wants to be hidden, hold on. If it wants to be hidden from Earth, it would have to be tidally locked with our sun, which is pretty hard to do with an object that is going as
mm,
fast as that.
well,
I mean,
just
this object is
yeah,
going incredibly fast.
it is very fast. But let's just say, as an example, right? Let's just say you're watching a car and it's going behind a building and it's travelling at a certain speed. And if you were to think about how fast it's going, then you might think, okay, in 11 seconds I should see it again to my right because it was travelling from the left when it passes the building because then I should be able to see it. But what if you don't see it and then 12, 13, 14, 15 seconds go by and it's like shit. I don't see it. I should see it by now, but I don't see it. Therefore, it must have either slowed down or stopped while it was behind the building. You know what I mean? That's what I'm suggesting. As a possibility. Let's just say that when we expect to see it on the other
Okay, do
side,
you
we
understand?
don't. You
Do
know
you
what I mean?
understand?
That'll
Do you
be extra
understand
freaky.
do you
That's just what I'm
understand?
saying.
Do you understand what tidally locked means?
Yes. But let's just say
What
it
does it
has
mean?
more control than that.
What does it mean?
Well, something that's tidally locked would be like a natural object that is, not necessarily under its own power. It's more just being
Doesn't have
controlled
to be a
by
natural
gravity
object.
and other gravitational objects having influence over it, and it has
All right, so
no power
basically,
of its own. No power of
what
its
is
own.
it? What it means is you face the same direction of the planet at all times.
Yeah, but I'm just suggesting, what if it does, have some
Okay,
power of its own,
so
right?
here's my deal, right?
I'm
Here's
speculating
my deal.
and, to
From what
excite
I'm
the
asking.
audience, basically.
Say 3-eye Atlas, we lose movement, right? Right after it goes past Mars. You get a tidally locked object
Well,
that is hidden.
if we can't
Hold
see
on.
it anymore.
Yeah, it's hidden
Hmm.
from Earth, right? Goes past Mars. Can't see it from Mars, can't see it from Earth. It's black, right? And it's hidden in between everything.
Mars would
You shine
maybe still be able to see it and see what it's doing.
not
But
not
then
if
just give
if
us
it's
the
positioned
information,
if
after
it's
the
positioned
fact.
toward the sun, you wouldn't be able to see it
I
without
mean,
a
it
very specialized telescope.
it does seem to have a glow of its own, though. That's the thing. So
Yeah, that's
it's
the
like
other
a
thing I was
light,
gonna mention too. But
not yeah. So
if you, the only thing is, if you could tidally lock this thing with the sun and counteract it toward Earth, yeah, we would never be able to see it. But we also have the fact that we have the rest of the universe. So I mean, fucking have fun. I don't I don't think it's a fucking alien spacecraft. I really don't. Um,
well, can I talk a little bit about how I think it might be, or might have something
right.
to do with alien spacecraft?
Absolutely.
All right. Now, I know I've probably spoken with you before in the past about Oumuamua, and you may or may not have seen my 5-minute video. I've got a longer one, but forget about that. Watch the 5-minute one about my UFO story. Basically, that has to do with Oumuamua. It has to do with other events that also occurred around that same time, which one of the other main events was the Solar Observatory. Was it in New Mexico? I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't have those notes with me, but basically it was like the FBI rolled in and cut everything off. So, but all of these events happening around the same time, and then I saw a UFO on the 24th of December 2018, so the day before Christmas, and it was shaped like similar to a hexagon sort of shaped. It was rolling over itself, the way it was moving, like if you took a ball and you rolled it along the ground, that's the way it moved, at the same rate. So it's not like the ball rolled a little bit and it went a billion miles. Like, it rolled, and then the amount that it moved, like of space that it moved, was equivalent.
Was it like a solid, or is it like a plasma?
It was solid. It even looked like a machine. I do remember thinking exactly at the time, this looks like a machine. Yeah, and it was not quite round. It was like a strange, like a shape that has angles to it. And it was, I guess, gunmetal grey sort of in colour. And I ran to my wife, because I was in the swimming pool. I got out of the swimming pool and ran, like the townhouse that I live in is right next to the swimming pool. I ran back to the townhouse. I said to my wife, my camera. And to her credit, she went and got my camera straight away, and I grabbed it and then ran back out to the swimming pool area, but it was gone. I couldn't see it anymore. But then, it was like less than a week later, there were these funny sort of like back and forth things that I saw coming towards me. But I guess maybe I should mention before that, it's like up in the sky, it's like making up a circle or a sphere. I thought it was a bunch of insects, but really it wasn't a bunch of insects, but it looked like it at the time. Like,
I really,
like
I really think sometimes when you observe something you shouldn't.
Flapping up and down, and like making a circle, and a whole bunch of them. And I thought, oh, these are just like insects or something. But then the weird thing was, it all disappeared all of a sudden. And I thought, oh shit, And then, like, one of these things, I guess, came down towards me and started coming at me. And so I ducked under the water and came out the other side, and then I saw it heading towards the bush, and then it disappeared. But then there were like ravens that were like swooping at the window after I got out the shower, almost as if they were like asking me to come outside. Like they would swoop towards the window and then all of a sudden swoop away. Like maybe the beings or whatever, the intelligence was like trying to co-opt some of the nature that this area where I live
think
is
it was.
surrounded with.
I think it was nature trying to protect you.
No, they wanted me to come outside. It was me that was a bit scared, because then
I think you should cut it here.
one of the final things that happened.
I think you should cut it here.
No. I want to say this last thing. Was there was a back and forth thing. Like, if you take two of your fingers and point them out, and then move them back and forth, but they were black, and it's moving back and forth rapidly. That's kind of what it looked like. Strange, I know. And I saw it above me when I was going to work, and I could hear crows as well. Or not crows, they were ravens. And I made my way to the bus stop. And I didn't see the back and forth thing anymore, but there were two ravens on the lights watching me, and I said hello to them. Anyway, and one left, and then the other left after, I don't know, a minute, and then there was a man next to me. All of a sudden, I didn't see him appear. It was like I was watching for the bus, and then I turned around, and this man was all of a sudden there. I didn't hear him arrive. He looked like Al Pacino, but a very young version, but with the beard, where every hair of his beard was like exactly the same length. It was like a perfect beard. And he had like tattoos on his arms as well. I remember they were multicoloured. Like there was orange, there was green, there was blue. There were different colours in the tattoo, but I
Oh,
can't.
sounds like meeting the devil at the crossroads.
But I can't remember the exact like you know like what the tattoo was like.
Yeah,
Whether it
it
was
sounds like meeting the
an
devil at the
animal or
crossroads.
something. I guess maybe it sounds like something like that with what you're saying. But yeah. Then I looked for the bus again, only because I was a little bit afraid. I didn't say hello to him, and I suspected this might have been like to do with the UFO and everything, and the back and forth things. And I looked back, and he was gone, and I didn't hear him leave. So I went and looked down the side street. I saw no one. You know, it's like I heard nothing, and there's no way this person could have just left just like that. When I was looking all around, no way. It would have been too fast. So that was very strange, and to do with the ravens as well. Yeah, it was just really weird.
You can hear my word, but
And now we've got Three Eye
the
Atlas,
warning.
and that was a Muamua, and now we've got Three Eye Atlas, which is bigger.
Hear my word, but you will not hear the warning. You will not know the hour, and you will not know the place, but you will know that I am coming.
Is that what you think? Like, do you think
know who
it's
that
like a
is?
demon or something saying something like that?
No. Do you know who that is?
No.
That's Jesus Christ.
Oh, okay.
And if you think it's a demon, then thank God in all his glory. It terrifies the human soul.
Well, humans definitely deserve to be fucking terrified anyway. Like, they believe in so much bullshit. They're so fucking stupid these days. That's for fucking sure, They need a wake-up call.
Three
There's no
This is
fucking doubt
nothing.
about that, though,
There's
right?
nothing you have to fucking worry about. Your little harms and your little demons are nothing to worry about.
Yeah,
Three Atlas is a nothing burger.
it's a nothing burger. Yeah. You don't think it's going... You think it's just like a
Extremely
comet
doubtful.
or something, like, it means nothing.
Extremely doubtful that it is representative of anything. The only thing that it will do is bounce human resonance off of it, increasing the amount of theta and gamma waves that humans experience, meaning our cognizance and our intuition is going to get a higher level. Our basic thought levels are going to be at a higher level. We're basically going to be at a human level or a superhuman level of thought, right? That's the only thing that it means. Because we're also going through a solar maximum where the sun is releasing a large amount of what's it called?
Like rays.
Solar flares, and so it's expanding out across our universe, and a few of them have hit Mars and are going toward Three Eye Atlas right now. And they're going to bounce off of it and then head toward Earth. So the human resonance should increase quite a bit. which will just basically make it so that way you're smarter and you might get a little bit more sleepier. That's about it.
Yeah, cool. All right. Well,
Yeah, end recording.